Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, you guys are going to be seeing a review and demo on these Sonia Kashuk limited edition brushes. They are the ones with the gold handle. These are the ones that just have this golden handle, and then I also got the second edition that has the stars. So I'm going to go in depth and show you guys how I use both of these sets. For this one that does have this sort of handle, I believe I paid $39.99. In the 4-piece star set, I paid, I believe, $29.99 for these. So I paid basically $30 and $40 for the 10-piece. I know that that seems really pricey for the, for 14 brushes. I basically paid, what is it, like 70 bucks. But it is really worth it. I didn't buy both of them at the same time. I did buy one brush set first just to see how I was gonna like it, because I don't own any Sonia Kashuk brushes before this. These are the first two sets that I buy, but I will say that I'm completely in love with these brushes, so I even want to go buy some of the single ones. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the brush while showing you guys how I use it. So let's just go ahead and get right into the video. Alright guys, so the first brush that I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the one from the second set from the 4-piece. It is an angled brush. It does look like this, and I did use this to apply my foundation today. It is incredible to apply your foundation. I feel like it blended it out so amazing, and the way that the brush is angled, it just makes everything just like, it just glides your foundation onto your skin, and it's an amazing foundation brush. I don't think that I would have ever thought about using this, or that it's for this, for this purpose or whatever, but it really works. And I love the way that how it's, it's kind of narrow and it fits in those areas around my eyebrows, because my forehead is somewhat smaller. It fits around my eyebrows, and just the way that the brush is shaped, I think really helps to get around the smaller parts of your face, under your eyes, under your nose, above your lip, on the sides of your eyebrows, where your temples are at. It's just an amazing overall foundation brush, and I definitely think that I'm going to keep using this brush as that. The next brush I want to talk about is this angled flat brush. I decided to start using this little guy as my concealer brush. First of all, I apply my concealer, and then I will go in with this brush and just blend it out. It is somewhat stiff, so it does blend out pretty well. It will leave little streaks here and there, so you just want to go back in and pat it with your finger if you do have any. I just noticed that on my left eye, because I'm right-handed, so I think it's the pressure that I was putting under my left eye is what made those little streaks. But using this on its own, it's an amazing brush, so I think I'm definitely going to keep using this as my concealer brush. And then the next one, to set my concealer, I did go in with this one. This is another one from the Star Collection, and I use this basically just to set my under eyes with the Airspun Loose Face Powder. I love the way that this brush applied it. It's just the only problem that I had with this was that it is very loose, so I did get powder everywhere. So the only bad thing is that you're going to get super dirty if you use a loose face powder. If you use like a little compact, then I think it'll be even better. But to bake, I wouldn't use it to bake, just to set your under eye. I feel like it works really great. The next brush I want to talk about was this one. This is Your Average powder brush. I use this just to set my foundation. It's very dense. It's not very loose or anything like that. The bristles are somewhat dense, so I feel like it really does pack on your powder, and it does distribute it evenly, and it blends everything out super nice. I didn't have a problem with my foundation cracking or being moved or anything like that, so I really like this brush for my powder. From the first collection, this is my favorite contour brush, and I will say that I use this to contour my cheeks because it gives you, it's so small, it's a rounded brush to begin with, but it's very dense, and then it's kind of tapered at the, like right here. I don't know if you guys can see that it's somewhat tapered from here. This stuff, like the little ball at the beginning, like the point of the brush is what makes your contour super sharp and crisp, and I feel like that's why I really like this. You can also like play with the brush and use it at an angle, and that'll also like help you blend your contour out. So this is my favorite brush to contour. Ever since I got these brushes, I have not put it down. Like, this is a brush that I get even if I use the other brushes that I have in my collection. I use this one to contour with. And then for my blush, I use this really fluffy, it kind of looks like a fan brush because it's like, you know, it's like somewhat thin from here, like that. And then when you turn it sideways, it's like a fan brush. So I love using this as my blush brush. I just, you know, stick it in my blush and I apply it to my cheeks, and it blends everything out super nice. I feel like it's the perfect brush to just get to the apples of your cheeks. And at first I was kind of intimidated by it because of the size, but I do have chubby cheeks, so it does, you know, fill in all of my cheeks with blush. And even though you have smaller cheeks, or if you're like, if you have a skinny face, I feel like this would be really perfect for your cheeks as well because it is somewhat tapered also. So you could just like dip it in like this into your blush and then just apply it like that, and it would work great. And then the next brush is the fourth one, I believe, from the Star Collection one, and it's this little guy. I'm still trying to figure out what to use this with. I've tried putting my highlighter on with this one, but it doesn't really work the way that I want it to because it's very dense. I think I would personally use it for cream contouring, but since I don't cream contour because I have oily skin, I feel like it's best to do that for anything that has to do with cream products. So if you're someone who uses cream blush, cream bronzers, or anything of that sort, then I think this brush would come in handy because it's just, I don't know, it looks like a little head or something. I don't know. It's a really cute brush, but I'm going to keep trying to, you know, mess around with it, and hopefully I'll find like the right little thing to do with this brush. And then at the end, I'm using this is a fourth Star brush. This is like a powder brush. This one is a lot more softer. It's not as dense as the other one that I did use to, you know, powder my face. I like to use this guy to just sweep off the excess powder that I have underneath my eyes, or just to blend everything out together after I've applied all of my face makeup. And then jumping into my eyes, this little guy is my favorite. I've told you guys before that blending brushes are my favorite, and they said, I've seen reviews, I've heard reviews, that this is a dupe for the Sigma E40 brush. And can you guys see how easily like that blended out my transition shade? It's amazing. This is also one of my favorite brushes. I definitely use it in my collection, like while I'm doing my everyday makeup. This is like a staple, I feel. If I would ever, like if this little guy ever broke, I would definitely go buy a whole entire new set just because of this brush and the contour one, no lie. And then to smoke out my lash line, I am using this pencil brush. I really like the way that this brush is because it's somewhat dense. It is a pencil brush, so of course they're kind of dense, but it's also very soft to the touch, so it doesn't really like tickle my eye to the point where I cannot do it or I can't get it done. I feel like it's just perfect. So I really like this to either blend out or smoke out my lower lash line or my upper lash line. It doesn't really matter. I really like this brush also, and I feel like it's the perfect pencil brush. I don't have one of these like this in my collection, so I'm happy that I finally do. And then I went in with this really big shadow brush to apply that brown shade in the outer corner. I did use this for the brown one and for the black ones. I am going to show you guys both of the clips where I first apply that brown shade and then I go back in with the same brush and use it on the black part just to deepen up my outer corner. This brush is amazing to use in your crease, as your transition. It's somewhat big because it is a bigger, fluffier brush, but it puts the product where you want it. It's not going to like throw it around everywhere or anything. It's another one of my favorites, so I'm really happy that I have a brush like this. Again, I don't have one like this in my collection, so I'm happy to say that I do now. And then the last little brush that I want to talk about is this. It's like a weird little brush. Kind of looks like a paddle. That's what it reminds me of. And it's pointed and it's somewhat slim, and I use this to apply my highlight to my brow bone. So I also have used this to apply the highlight to my cheeks, and I do like it for that. It's just that of course I also have to go in with my fingers and blend it out because this is a smaller brush, but overall I like it either to apply it to my brow bone or onto my cheekbones. For my eyebrows, I love to use this little guy. I like to use this little stubby guy whenever I apply my Anastasia brow powder. I didn't use it today because I did use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, but for my brow powder, I love using this little brush. But yeah, this is what I use the brush for. Like I said, I just didn't show you guys today, but I use this to fill in my eyebrows. And then the little only brush that I did not use out of these two collections was this really dense angled brush. I feel like I had already finished my entire look. I didn't really find this brush necessary, but if I would have used it, I probably would use this to like spot conceal any blemishes that I might have. I feel like this would be the perfect little brush to do that. So if you guys have, you know, that little pesky pimple, you can cover it up with this guy. So that about does it for the two collections. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys went and bought these brushes, let me know if you like them or if this video came helpful to you in any way. Again, let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.